What's up, everybody? Comic Quarter 410 here. I recently got back the rest of my CGC and CBCS submissions from Baltimore Con and from Monster Mania Con, Maryland. A little while ago, I did a video of the first batch of slabs that I got back from Baltimore Con. That video will be linked in the description below. But to start off here, I got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5 SIG series by Kevin Eastman. He seems to always remark them with a turtle's head, which I think is really cool. This one came back a 9.8 with white pages, so I'm pretty happy about that. I showed in another video my Turtles 3 and 4, which are magazine sized. They had the dreaded wave effect, so I had to send them back to CGC. They're going to press them and regrade them. They got a 9.6 and a 9.4 in the first go around, so I hope they keep those grades at least. But very happy with that one. Met Joseph Michael Linsner again this year. Got this Comic Kings exclusive variant to Harley Quinn Rebirth number 1, signed by Joseph Michael Linsner. Beautiful, beautiful cover, and it came back a 9.6 with white pages. Met Keith Giffen at Baltimore Con. Got my copy of Omega Men number 3, signed by him. First appearance of Lobo. Came back in 9.4 with white pages. They even list this as a bondage cover. Got Ed McGuinness to sign my Atomic Comics Red Hulk number 1 variant. That came back at 9.6 with white pages. Really like that cover. Told all of you just how nice Eric Powell was, and it was a pleasure to meet him. Got my Avatar Goon number 2 signed by Eric Powell. That came back a 9.4 with white pages. I hope to snag a number 1 someday. Got my Dark Horse Goon number 1 SIG series by Eric Powell. That came back a 9.6 with white pages. Got a couple Hillbilly number 1 signed by him, and I sent this one in for slabbing. It came back a 9.8 with white pages. It was with the first batch. As you can tell, it had the label that CBCS briefly used. They've already changed them. Was really happy with this. This is the Diamond RRP variant to Hillbilly number 1 that was exclusive to the Diamond Retailer Summit before my convention. My store got me one. I got it signed by Eric Powell, and it came back a 9.8 with white pages. Really like that one. Got to meet the man, Neil Adams, once again. Actually went to a Neil Adams signing this weekend, and I'll be sending some more books into CBCS, but sent in my first appearance of Ra's al Ghul, Batman 232. Came back a 7.5 with off-white to white pages. Beautiful cover. It displays really nice for a 7.5. And I bought this book a long time ago. I think I have just under $100 into this book, but very happy with that. Another Neil Adams book I bought a long time ago before it really shot up is Jimmy Olsen 134. First appearance of Darkseid. Really glad he signed this one in silver. He tends to use a black marker most of the time, but looks really great. And this got an 8.0 with cream to off-white pages. Has a little sun bleaching, but that's fine. Very happy with that. And I got my Salvation Run number 7 variant signed by Neil as well. And beautiful, beautiful cover. This was really hot at one point. This came back a 9.8 with white pages, so really happy with that one. Love that cover. This one may go back in for a press. I have a regular copy of Purge that I got SIG series by Adam Hughes 2 years ago that got a 9.4, I believe. But this is the 30th anniversary variant. Came in the Hasbro comic packs. It got a 9.2 with white pages. Adam Hughes signed it. Really love this cover of his. But might send that in for a pressing. have it regraded. Got 2 red labels done as well. This is another copy of Star Wars Purge, the regular edition, and this was signed by David Prowse, is Darth Vader. It came back verified at a 9.6 with white pages. Was really stoked with this one. This is Star Wars Splinter of the Mind's Eye, number 3. And gorgeous painted cover here. And Mark Hamill signed it right on Luke's lightsaber. Really nice signature placement. This came back verified with a 9.4. And I was really glad because I'm told he charges like $200 to $250 now for a signature. This one I was a little upset about, and I called CBCS. This is my Fright Night 3D Special number 1, and it's signed by 3 of the main actors from the movie. Stephen Jeffries, who played Evil Ed, Chris Sarandon, who played Jerry Dandridge, the vampire, and William Ragsdale, who played the hero Charlie. And they gave it a 6.0 with white pages because they marked it incomplete, missing the 3D glasses. Well, I called them because the 3D glasses weren't part of the book. It was a polybagged edition, and the glasses were loose in the bag. And this was actually sealed up until 5 minutes before I got it signed. And normally you don't send in stuff like that that's loose in the poly bag because they won't slab it, they'll just throw it away. So when I called them, they admitted, yeah, we made a mistake. The book's not incomplete. Send it back, we'll reimburse you for shipping, and we'll regrade it. So I'm hoping when they regrade it, it should get a near mint to near mint minus, in my opinion. But it was very cool meeting all 3 of them. They had like a Fright Night reunion at that horror con. Excuse me. Was very happy to meet William Catt, the greatest American hero, who actually wrote this series for Arcana Press. This is the black variant, which is pretty tough to find in my experience. It has a few small spine ticks. I think they hammered it pretty hard at an 8.5. I think it's closer to a 9.092, but what can you do? Again, I may crack this and send it in for a press, but it's for my personal collection anyway, so I'm not that stressed about it. Just very happy to have this signed by William Catt, and he was very nice when I met him. So they also kind of hammered my number 2 as well. I really don't see why this got a 9.2. This is a really sharp copy. I can't see anything wrong with it. But they gave this a 9.2 with white pages, but Greatest American Hero number 2, also signed by William Catt there at the bottom. Got to meet the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Christy Swanson. And basically these are the only Buffy comics about the movie. And I even think the rendition of Buffy here on the cover looks more like Sarah Michelle Gellar. But as you can see by the description, it's based on Joss Whedon's original screenplay from his film. So Christy signed these for me, and she wrote the OG with a heart underneath. She was very, very nice. And this came back 9.4 with white pages. And I also got her to sign my Buffy the Origin number 3. And that came back a 9.4 with white pages as well. Had the extreme pleasure of once again meeting Robert Englund. He always has a ridiculous line. I got to him Friday night when the show wasn't as crowded, and I still waited about an hour to an hour and a half. His wait was like 3 to 4 hours all weekend long. And the guy charges $80 for a signature. You get a picture with him for the $80. But I find it pretty remarkable at how awesome he is when you meet him, that you walk away paying $80 for a signature, but you still feel like he loves and appreciates his fans. I think people like Adam West could take a cue from Robert Englund. Great experience. Great signature, the way he placed it and everything. Just a really nice guy. And this is the Tim Bradstreet variant to Wildstorm's Nightmare on Elm Street number 1. This came back in 9.4 with white pages. And then I got my Avatar Nightmare on Elm Street number 1 red foil variant, signed by Robert Englund there in red. This really presents beautifully. I'm really happy with this one. Juan Jose Rip cover. and this came back a 9.6 with white pages. So pretty happy with those. And I showed these in my last video, but one or two guys asked if I had showed these sketches, so going to show them again. These are 3 of the main sketch covers I got at Baltimore Con, the only ones I submitted for grading. I tried every year of the past 3 years to get a G.I. Joe blank sketch by S.L. Gallant because his commissions are mind-blowing, the work he puts in. This beautiful piece was very affordable. He did Spirit Iron Knife on this G.I. Joe 208 blank for me. It came back a 9.8 with white pages. I also have a Shipwreck and a Baroness by him on the same blank. Was fortunate enough to get Joseph Michael Linsner to take this Harley Quinn Zero and do this beautiful Harley sketch on it for me. Really happy with how this turned out. It got a 9.8 with white pages. And I actually have a Dawn sketch commission from him I should hopefully be getting back in the next month or so on a Cry for Dawn blank. So that's going to be pretty awesome to get that too. And last but certainly not least, I took this Turtles 30th anniversary special and got Kevin Eastman to do a color shredder here on this blank. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was lucky to get on his commission list because I emailed his agent before the show, and it turned out by the first day of my convention, all his commission slots were filled. So I was lucky to get this done. And I really like this blank. It's an art paper blank, but it's a prestige format, and also has that awesome back cover image by Santa Luoco. This also got a 9.8. And I'm extremely happy with that because I'm a huge Turtles fan. So overall, pretty happy with what I got back. Couple books had to go back. Another one's going to have to go back and be regraded. And I'm probably going to have my local presser crack 2 or 3 of these books and press them and send them in because he's certified to do so by CBCS. But overall, really happy with everything I got done at these conventions this year, and I had a great time. So everyone, thank you as always for your time. I appreciate you watching. Take care of yourselves and enjoy your comics.